And we're live. Alright, so let me know if you can hear me and see everything, and then I'm gonna test something out. Oh, I guess I should also grab this. The music going along with these scenes at the beginning is just so impactful. Yay! Alright, I'm about to test this. Let me know if this screen works. That's awesome that worked. Okay, so I'm so ready. That makes me so happy. Okay. So now y'all have some tunes to listen to whenever I have to step away. Alright, so where we last left off in yesterday's stream, aka episode 1, we had finally got up to level 10, got to our next class, and we are now ready to head to the quote-unquote habitat unit. I know what it's actually called, but we're calling it the habitat unit for continuity's sake right now. So yeah, that's what we're up to. I'm at the opposite gate of what we're supposed to be, but I just want to see what's said if I actually go over here. This gate is still sealed. Let's circle around to the other entrance. Okay. Well, geez. Not much of a circle if I'm this far away. It's like, what's the big deal of going close to it, though? And in case you're curious, like, what has you looking so cute today? Well, I had plans, but since it was raining, much like it is in this game, the plans were dead inside, so.
It didn't have to be like this. Shadow strike! Side slash! Switch edge! Sliding slinger! Myopic scream! Switch edge!
Now you can cripple them! I totally deserve a cookie for this.
Yeah, you're on top of this now.
Deep barrage! Oh, did that hurt? In
Sliding
that case,
slinger!
we'll weaken you so you die faster. Switch edge!
Primer! Side slash!
Myopic scream!
Shadow strike! Sliding slinger!
Switch edge! Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve a cookie for this. Deep
Upper
barrage!
hand! Shadow Runner.
The stuff on a whole different planet. No, he's looking at the stuff all around the
Now you can dribble cannons. I totally deserve a cookie for this.
Get off, dolls off, then call off that song for blow to guitar. Dealing with
Fly Ice.
stop.
Move in and do some damage.
One for the history books. Myopic scream.
Upper hand.
Deep barrage. That was way closer than anyone wanted.
We got it. Let's move.
I don't think this was a smart way to go around. Most definitely. Well, she's the one who told me to circle around, so it's Elma's fault. Right. Good lord, Linda. What can we talk about in the meantime? I guess we could talk about... I guess my plans for building my characters. Oh, what are you most excited for in terms of this game? Oh, the whole thing for sure, but most definitely the side quests. That's the main thing. How did I end up under the ice? Anyways. Yeah, I'm most excited for the side quests because I feel like they're really well thought out and really fleshed out side quests that really make you feel something for the side characters that you see around. I'm also really excited to get into the deeper conversations that we could have surrounding the story. Now, I'm really anticipating building up my gear though, because I'm not sure I'll be able to get it to God tier offline, but I can try my best. It will just take a lot of effort. A lot of effort. Am I almost there? Like, There's no land. I need land. I know. I'm just like, bro, we'll get there at some point. Oh, we discovered a new region. The music is pretty. But there's never that much of a reason to go into the waters. Just generally. Oh, we're back in Primordia. I guess it's to go with like the ambiance of like just being in the water or representative of the water. I think that's normally why any place that's water based gets pretty music. And now it's thunderstorming on me while I'm swimming. Okay, I'm seeing the area that I started out at. Over there is the beach. So, we're getting somewhere. Albeit not very quickly, but we're getting there. Imagine if I couldn't swim fast and it'd just be like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that. As a wise woman would say. Finally, some land. Tell me why they got stuff that we could have been, like, fighting. Should I fight a little bit or just continue towards my goal? Fight a bit? Okay, I want to fight this.
Let's do this thing.
They're off guard. Stab them with a melee attack.
Yeah. What your step? Oh, nice.
Side slash.
I totally deserve a thank you for this.
Shadow strike.
Deep barrage. My arm is free.
Now, melee attacks.
One for the history.
Light. Flinger.
Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve a thank you for this.
Be on top of this now.
This one boosts potential, range attack,
Upper
and
hand.
ether resistance.
Shadow strike.
This one continuously restores my HP and boosts my evasion. This one's better in a pinch, but the other one's better if I plan on using this quite a bit.
Deep barrage.
Light. Flinger.
Here.
Side slash. Shadow strike. Upper hand.
Myopic scream.
Light. Flinger.
Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve
Free egg.
No, I'm already dying.
Be on top of this now. Shadow strike.
one for the history.
You know what? Fine.
Now, melee attack. Light. Flinger. Appreciate it. Shadow strike.
You just want to hear the song for longer, don't you?
Upper hand.
Now you can cripple that. I totally deserve a cookie for this.
Shadow strike. Right.
Oh, baby. You gotta try this on.
Primer. Move in and do some damage. Shadow strike. Right.
Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve a cookie for this.
You're on top of
Kind of
this
losing
now.
it here. How about a little inspiration? That was
All right, we did
closer
it.
than anyone wanted.
We got it. Let's move.
We're still a ways off from there, surprisingly. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, we're close to a beach at least. It's not all bad. Okay, I think we're gonna make our way over there whenever we get close enough to that slope in the distance. And then we'll try to get to the habitat unit from there.
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside. Grex's. Riled. not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready? Have to be like this.
Steam barrage! Is this our chance? Our chance to move in? Biotics free! I'll keep the arts coming.
Now, melee attacks. Upper hand. Side slash appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
One for the history books!
Sliding. Sling 'em. Hostile neutralized. Switch to close range combat.
Steam barrage!
It's a shame we had to settle near so much wildlife. Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
Yeah! Yeah! Thanks.
Oh, hello. You must be the new friend that Colonel Elma mentioned in her report. Having just woken up after all that time, I'm sure you're dying to get home and take a shower. Unfortunately, the west gate is closed at the moment. If you want to enter the city, you'll need to use the elevator at the top of the stairs. They'll probably open the gate soon, thanks to the great work you guys did killing the monsters that were causing all that trouble. But until then, you'll have to forgive the inconvenience. Please understand.
Yeah!
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees. Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira, come what may. New LA was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
How about a quick tour of the facilities to refresh your memory? Let's start with your living quarters.
Any
Follow me.
opinions? Well, one opinion is that I prefer that cutscene in the daytime. But, no.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, good day. This is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you with news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members. These fellow pioneers will rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director General?
Part of my
Since when?
initiative for the rescue and recovery of
2 days
all
ago,
our
ma'am.
brothers and sisters. I stand here truly
From political aide to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
for a better NLA and a better
Irina?
tomorrow.
Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
Who they?
Right. Introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor.
So Irina's Russian.
I only found
then.
a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Akulov is a Russian. then.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Chausson was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr.
I agree. I have more thoughts on
Or
that. I'll
just
say
Gwyn.
after this scene.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still Colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for best ass kiss goes to...
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
Right. We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
Chapter 1, New Los Angeles. So now I can say my thoughts. So I too thought that politics would play more of a role, which they do, but not. But what I thought is politics would play a role for the humans, for New LA. It's human people. They play a role, but not necessarily with us. And that little plot point that seemed to be alluded to of them like, what's he lying for? Like, and him like just moving himself up in the ranks. That's not really addressed in the way I would have expected it to, but it would have been a really interesting thing to see develop in the story, because we are on a new planet, and so it's really up to the majority who wants to be the person to govern everyone. Like, nobody has to listen to however it was where we came from on Earth. Nobody has to listen to that, technically, because we're not on Earth. Therefore, Earth's rules don't necessarily apply. So we could have like done the whole like plot of like sussing him out, and then like the people decide to elect who they want. Because honestly, I think a certain other character that we'll meet soon enough would have been a better leader than Chosan. Yeah, like, it's a topic that I feel like they could definitely touch on in a second game, especially considering, I mean, it's not that much of spoilers, this is Xenoblade. When there are Xenos, like, they all would need elected officials, and if they're all part of NLA, then who is the leader of everybody might change, you know? So, but I'm sure other things will come up that will allow us to like discuss that more in the game, but it's just not focused on as a main plot point.
Hey!
This package was meant to go to Blade Tower. It's only the biggest building in town, so I don't know how you could mess that up.
Really?
Welcome to the Industrial District, where we laborers work ourselves to the bone, building new LA for everyone else to enjoy. Sorry, did that sound grumpy?
Hey!
Hey, you're that new guy, aren't ya? The new crew member that Elma found, right? I was wondering what sort of person you'd be. You're a handsome one, that's for sure. Yes, sir, I like the cut of your jib. Well, welcome to New LA. We're happy to have you. I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff you have to do before you get situated, eh? Paperwork and whatnot. In that case, you can just hop right into that transport that's right idling over there, and it'll take you straight to the administrative district.
Yeah. Wow, let's see.
I heard gunshots and some sort of dying wail from the other side of the west gate. I guess one of the teams must have been fighting with an indigent. I really hope they finally took out the aggressive indigents that have been causing problems just outside the city, because in that case we should be able to reopen the west gate soon.
Sir.
Yeah, this gate's out of commission at the moment. Busted servers or something. Anyway, if you got business on the other side, it's gonna have to wait. Mm.
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would you?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt... Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You caught that? You're the one who cleared me to fly.
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
Oh, hey Elma. How'd it go out there? And would this be one of the you-know-whos? Cool. I'm Lynn Lee Koo, mechanic and top all-around fix-it gal for Blade. Yeah, well that, doesn't usually happen.
We know it doesn't, Lynn. Look, I know what you're thinking. But believe me, young as she may look, and yes, she is young, she's actually one of our top talents.
Most of the time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
That sounds like a great idea.
Meh.
All right, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Skell.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
No, because just like, if you were really new in town, would you want some little kid to tell you about the city? My little brother just joined the Prospectors. He's been a civilian until now, so I'm worried about whether or not he'll be able to make it as a Blade.
Hey, listen!
We blue-collar workers can be just as flashy dressers as those commercial district folk. You might have to brush away a few layers of dust to see what we're wearing, though. So, what's the Curator's division?
Listen to this.
Even merely maintaining our current front lines requires ludicrous amounts of money and materials. It was difficult enough on Earth, but supporting a military on a planet like this requires resources on a whole other scale. Which means we Curators need to secure sufficient resources here on Mira to fuel Blade's military activities. Otherwise, it'll be impossible to sustain offensives against our new enemies, search for the Lifehold, or continue countless other Blade projects. It's not the most glamorous line of work, but when I came to understand how important it was to the continuance of Blade, I knew I had to join up. Well, is anything troubling you, good sir? Yeah, they do. Our resource transport helicopters are constantly being attacked by indigents. So far, Howard and Cisco have managed to evade the attacks with quick thinking and spry reflexes. But I know it's only a matter of time before our luck runs out. We've asked the interceptors to help clear our flight paths of indigents, but they have a lot on their plates right now, so it could be a bit. I hope they get to it soon.
Am I right?
The outer walls of New LA are nearly 100 meters tall. There's no way any indigent is climbing over that.
What?
Ask Tobias about claiming Marian resources.
Nice.
Mira right now is kinda like San Francisco before the gold rush. We know there are valuable resources all around us, but most of them haven't been claimed yet. While the rest of Blade is off casually performing missions, I'm gonna expand Frontier Nav and make a fortune. You wanna get in on this action? If so, I'm gonna need every last credit you got. Oh, and you'll only be a junior partner, so you have to follow orders from me. Keep this guy in mind for later.
What?
Have you heard any interesting rumors lately?
Damn.
I hear that goody-goody Kirsty is going around the Blades who ain't even been clued in yet and teaching them all about Frontier Nav. Why can't she mind her own damn business, huh? What if one of those little pukes beats me to a prime Frontier Nav spot and installs a probe? And if she's such a freaking expert, why doesn't she go get rich herself instead of shooting her mouth off to everyone else about it?
Yeah.
Let's hop a ride on that transport to get to the AD. Just talk to the pilot to get going.
Not bad, huh? You can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this
Yes,
view.
ma'am.
It's like a different city every time.
It's certainly
muted
come a
myself
long
for
way in the
next
last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it. New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, skill development, you know, industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district, but I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district. Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you name it. It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway. Day or night, the best and only bargains on the planet. To your right, the residential district. Housing, housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerve center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley, as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Skell maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn. We'll save the rest of orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
Orientation.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Lindley Airlines.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay? We can check it out later.
She had to tell me not to get sidetracked because everything that happened on our way here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This ain't Earth. Don't expect that you'll be able to trust your instincts. I will be right back. Sadly, it's back to being frozen, but hey, it was nice while it lasted. The Smarties have been retrieved. I took them beside me so they're not in the camera. Yeah. There you go. So how are we feeling about Lynn? Yeah, I agree. Her character doesn't really feel that smart or mature. I mean, you just know she knows about robotics, but that doesn't necessarily give smart to me. If you're just smart in one category. You know what I mean? But I will say Lynn definitely... Oh yeah. I will say Lynn definitely grows as the story progresses in a way that makes her a lot more likable than Elma. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk to Lara. I'm not gonna ask him about battle points because I already know about those. Got any interesting news?
Oh, you.
I heard there was a stalled skull in the residential district, so I went to see for myself. And would you believe it? A real looker of a blade was standing right beside it. He was just my type. So I wonder if I could get Vandom to coincidentally assign us both to the same mission.
Yeah.
So tell me about Chisan.
Here's what I know.
We officers are aware that not all of New LA's citizens are on board with the Director General Chisan's policies. But the more we allow our ideals to enslave us, the grimmer our situation will become. Hopefully some breakthrough opportunity will present itself eventually, and you've got the look of someone who just might be able to accomplish that. If you're ever ready to be that opportunity, let me know and I'll assign you something important. So she knows that NLA is not really on board with Chisan. So it's like, how and why is he in power then?
Sir! Intel is sparse, but
Are you familiar with the continent comprised of nothing but wastelands far to the east of New LA? I was almost familiar. We are receiving reports of non-naturally occurring structures in that region. We need to find some answers about who built these structures and what became of them and do it fast. I guess I'll have to post a mission for the Pathfinders division. That's another good point. Ruins. I feel like they weren't focused on as much as they should have been. But we'll discuss that more later.
Working hard?
As part of the Earth-like colonization project, interstellar ships took off from a number of cities. However, we don't have any idea what happened to the others. We've been transmitting a signal from Mira in an attempt to establish contact, but we haven't had any replies yet. It's possible that we're all that's left of humanity. No, ignore that. We mustn't lose hope.
Working hard? What to do?
The expansion of Frontier Nav hasn't been progressing the way I'd hoped. It's mainly because of interference from the Indergens, though I suppose we are the ones encroaching on their turf. It's only natural they'd fight to protect it. I just wish we could find a way to install the data probes without having to do so much needless fighting. I had a sneeze that didn't become a sneeze.
hey,
Even Blade Tower, the center of New LA's government, is barely 70% complete. But it's not like we have the luxury of waiting around for it to be finished.
Yeah?
Exploring an uncharted planet is no easy task. For the sake of efficiency, it's important that each division performs its own assigned duty.
I see.
You're assigning me to gather anhydrous radiators and heat-proof inox pipes? Yes, sir. I believe you can find all you need here in Primordia, sir.
Yeah?
The Provisional Government is our system of self-governance headed by Director General Chisan. Don't tell me you thought that Blade was running this whole city by itself. Blade handles the fighting, but the Provisional Government manages the city. It's a very clear division of duties. I ain't even say nothing like that. Anything troubling you, bud?
Well...
Mediators protect the city and also serve police-like functions within it. But there are some problems and they can't resolve without further help. That said, I simply do not have the manpower to resolve some of the more minor grievances that are brought to me. It would be nice if there were some good Samaritans available who would be willing to make that effort to solve those sorts of problems.
Listen
Defense
carefully.
Secretary Nagi is in charge of military affairs. He in turn oversees Commander Vandam, who serves as our operational leader. It's mostly a political position as I understand it. Normally someone in such a lofty position wouldn't have contact with the boots on the ground. But Secretary Nagi always insists that he's just another citizen of New LA and strolls around the city without an entourage. He's a very impressive leader. Why? Are you offering to help? Because with the amount of work on my plate, I won't turn you down. But if you don't even know the basics of operating one of those, I don't know how much help you could be. Well, you should ask your patron, Elma, I mean, to walk you through it. After that, we can talk. Once you know what you're doing, come back and talk to me, okay? Whatever.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. How's it going? Oh, wonderful.
The weather on Mira changes abruptly and often. They say it's as fickle as a young lover's heart. Oftentimes, they'll head out on a bright, clear morning and end up soaked from thunderstorms by noon. Sounds like Ohio. Veteran blades tend to carry a wide variety of equipment in order to respond to changing weather. For example, electrified weaponry is especially effective during thunderstorms.
How's it going? Wow.
Did you hear about the blade who found an unusual flower while she was out on a mission in Primordia? It turned out to be an indigene that was just camouflaged as a flower. The thing attacked her out of nowhere. She's lucky she wasn't killed. I hear the poor girl is totally traumatized now. Even the get well soon flowers she's been receiving have left her screaming and shaking like a leaf, poor thing. Even the residents of New LA who are not members of Blade are actively supporting the city in some capacity. After all, we also share the burden of being among humanity's last survivors. I, for example, have the role of keeping Blades in tip-top condition. I'm willing to sacrifice anything to help Blade succeed. I would heal those who are building our new legacy, even at the cost of my own life. And what of you? Are you prepared to do your duty as one of humanity's last survivors? I do not engage in gossip or any other form of idle conversation that serve no clear purpose. But I suppose Sherry over there may have a few interesting things to share. She's very popular with the Blades and gets to hear a lot of their stories. I don't know if any of it would be of any interest to you, but if you wish to know of happenings outside the city, you should speak with her.
What is it?
Our support staff are the ones who have to clean up Blade's messes in the maintenance center and commercial district. As a doctor who heals the wounds of Blades, I actively serve in a support capacity. It keeps me far busier than I would like. There is no end to the foolishness of Blades who throw themselves into battle and sustain needless wounds in their every encounter. Should you end up in a combat role yourself, I urge you to equip yourself properly to avoid sustaining any preventable damage.
What is it?
I can't believe a fellow alumnus of my elite university chose to become a Blade of all things. And this was a man so accomplished that he stood out even amongst the top students at our university. He could have been a politician or a CEO. But instead he chooses to put his precious life at risk with one dangerous mission after another. I cannot even begin to comprehend what he is thinking. That's right, if you register your collectibles in your Collectopedia, you can earn rewards. That's at the core of what we curators do.
Yeah.
We may have failed to protect Earth, but I joined the Interceptors to prove that we could at least protect New LA, no matter what fate throws at us.
Need something?
You that new guy everybody's talking about? You're a scrawny one, ain't ya? Sure wouldn't want you watching my back. Do you even lift? You gotta start training those abs, pecs, and delts, bro. Leave the city looking like that and you'll be in some indigene's belly before the gate clangs shut behind you. Not that you'd make much of a meal. If you're planning on doing any serious fighting, get your glutes down to Armory Alley and buy yourself some proper gear. Huh? What about me? Dude, when you're ripped like I am, gear don't make one bit of difference. What do you think? Pretty impressive, right? Go on. You can touch them when they see me flex.
Need something? Ha! Get a load of this!
Did you know you could take the elevator on Division Drive down to the lower level of the administrative district? That's where the hangars are. A bunch of punks usually hang out in the shadows down there. They like to pick fights with new blades. I'm sure they'd love to have a go at you, so watch your back, alright? LOL.
Idiot.
I lovingly instruct Blade rookies that don't even know the basics of combat until they grow into respectable Blade operatives. But recently, a number of cowards have failed to withstand my love and fled my training sessions. You look like the type that can take it. If you decide to join Blade, you come and ask me anything. I will take the fundamentals of combat and beat them right into you. Any fool who's dumb enough to face his foe head-on won't live to make the same mistake twice. You must constantly move to stay in your opponent's blind spots. Attack your foe from the back. Attack it from high or below. Anywhere but head-on. Attacking from any of those positions will improve your accuracy and your odds of landing a critical hit. Do you understand? Do you not understand? Either way, repeat what I just said 1,000 times until it finally penetrates that thick skull of yours! Jeez, man.
Hey,
How the heck am I supposed to pull off this job by myself? It's madness! Madness! Hey, you wanna come along and help? I can't with these folks. Need to drink some water. They're on one. They are truly on one.
Yes?
My name is Eleonora, and I serve as Blade's receptionist. Most missions are managed through the terminal, but if you need to make a special report, please speak to me. Additionally, if you have any questions about your assignments, feel free to ask me anything. If there's anything I can do to help, I hope you'll let me be of service. Now go do your best, Action. I expect great things from you. She's mad sus. Mad sus. Don't let her nice voice fool you.
Listen,
If you have a skull license, you can buy a skull from the shop terminal in Armory Alley. And I love living in the future.
What?
Man, I'm as excited about my next mission as I am my next root canal. You want to swap? Just kidding. I mean, I'd love to swap, but if Trevor found out that I passed the mission off, he'd tear me a new one. Trevor's as strict as they come, and no mistake, you don't ever want to get on his bad side.
hey,
Sakuraba gear isn't so bad. Their stuff is high in accuracy and stability at least, although it tends to be pretty weak against attribute attacks. This is where the arms manufacturers are based. This building is for all the companies that are involved in the research, development, and sale of weapons and armor for Blade. Ah, but you're not a Blade yourself, are you? Forgive me, I assumed that you were officially registered by the way you were armed. My professional duties include recruiting Blades for uranium gathering missions. Unfortunately, I've had few interested parties, as most Blades are busy installing data probes, battling tyrants, and performing other vital duties. If you should find yourself with uranium to spare, might I invite you to accept one of our assignments for mission control? Needless to say, we'll pay a fair price for the uranium as a mission reward. I do hope you'll consider this proposition. Aren't there any wealthy blades anywhere who are willing to donate resources to the arms manufacturers? That'll really help speed up the creation of new equipment. There's so many people to talk to. I'm contemplating between talking to every single person or just talking to some at a time in between doing things.
What's wrong?
Is anything bothering you, bro? Carl is pathetic. I put him on indigent control duty and he hasn't killed a single one. If I didn't have so many damn duties of my own, I'd march right up to him and spank him like the insolent child he is. Hey, if you're headed that way, could you give Carl a message for me? He'll be the one loitering out in front of the arms manufacturer's building. Tell him to pull his head out and get his goddamn work done before Trevor has to stick a boot so far up his ass, he'll taste shoe polish for a month. Okay, I'll do that then. Alright, let's go to the barracks and get these cutscenes out the way.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks.
Oh, let me mute.
Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
Frown and say nothing.
Is there a problem here? So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi!
Ms. Koo. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No. Nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work out there.
Just doing my job, Mr. Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here...
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
Ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about a job right here with Blade? He seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until he knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. He seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
He could barely remember his name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't take very long to get caught up.
My thoughts exactly.
2 months is a long time for them to not
Well then,
find
where
certain
should we begin?
things that are just sitting out there. Especially considering how far I was able to travel in a day. Just saying. Also, I gotta ask all these questions, so it doesn't matter which one I pick.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape.
Peep everything that was just said.
Did it go perfectly? No.
She said, I
We
just
are
wonder if
here,
it wouldn't have
we are
happened if I
alive.
hadn't been there.
We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
Notice.
Those of us who escaped
Quote,
on the White Whale spent over 2 years
once we
wandering in
learned,
space.
that's
Two
when they
hard
started
years.
the project.
But we clung to our mission.
And he's
to find a
saying
habitable
without you, there
planet
would have been no
and settle
project.
there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed. For better and for worse, we were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Blade is an acronym. Builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. are in the life hold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the life hold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir.
Just straight
We'll
grooming
keep this
me.
briefing brief.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby. Now this guy gets it. Aren't they just the coolest? Just everything about them. The lasers, the force fields, the bipedal and vehicular transformations. You ever have that dream where you're inside one and it's just transforming over and over and over? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't normally show this to people, but I've been working on some Skell fanfiction. Hold on, I'll just pull it up here 1 sec.
Lynn?
Skill
Oh,
fanfiction.
Right. Sorry.
Originally, scales were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far so fast without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so
They
many
talking
of
too
them
much.
go
I'm trying to
around.
play the game.
So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple.
I wasn't
They choose
thinking all
you,
that.
not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the mission control board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
Yeah. Sadly, for the sake of the stream, I can't skip any of this stuff that I've already like seen that's really not important to anything.
So this is mission control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Good for
Likewise.
you.
And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the scout console is for.
The
We should
scout
show you that
console is
next.
broken. We can't use
Hey,
that.
who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Hey,
Ta-da! The Blade Scout Console. When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout Console. You know, to get tougher.
If you
Something
do
we
end up joining
can't
us,
use.
quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sort of. Anyway, awesome,
See,
right?
she's supposed to be smart. She
So,
can't
you
even
ready
spell.
to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
Listen. Hey.
Let's get this show on the road.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie. Most Blade members face danger on a daily basis.
You know the
Having
crazy
the latest
part
gear
though?
isn't about impressing your friends.
The fact
It's a
that
matter of
nobody
survival.
knows me from Earth.
True enough. And that goes not only for your
Nobody knows
personal
me.
armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell? Huh? Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Okay. I would talk to everybody, but at this point, I'm just trying to get this over with. I'll talk to them after.
Hey. So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chosan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression.
I
But
just
your decision
realized
will be
the
just that,
short
your decision.
male doesn't get that short.
In any
'cause
case,
I'm way
let's
taller
head back
than
to the
Lynn.
barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Hey!
Have you seen the timer they put on the Blade Tower? No one seems to know what it's for.
Yeah?
I wonder if the reason why they expect such big things from me is because I was actually somebody important on Earth or in the military, and so they know that I have the capabilities to fight. They just don't want to like throw that out there because they want to try and see if I recover memories on my own.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone.
Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
No.
Ms. Ku, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis forever.
Is this a threat?
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend? Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
I repeat, is this a threat?
You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
I'm like, why are you playing with me right now? Bro, what it seems like is he gonna throw me back in stasis if I say no? Not the MC of the game only saving the world because he's being forced to.
You said no. You wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
Nothing I can do. Fine,
I
I'll
knew you'd
join
make the
your
right
freaking
choice.
blades.
Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
F your club. Y'all forced me into this. Such a shame.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pathway within the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a Blade or another citizen.
That's the song when we were making our
quite handy
character.
indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the East Gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
This silly girl thinks you can install the hell out of a probe. Like, where does she think the probes are going down to? Kids.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the West Gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Yeah, it was us.
Seriously? That was you? Cool.
Because I was over there
I
fighting
don't
stuff
think so.
at the East Gate
Those
literally the
Grexes we
whole
took down were fairly
time.
routine.
Yesterday.
Definitely not something they'd block both gates over at
To level
least.
up.
Then I take my cool back. But wait a sec. You guys fought Grexes? The two of you? Hey, that's still pretty cool. They've been hassling a lot of teams lately, especially how they hunt in packs and all.
Let's not get too excited. Confidence can be good. Overconfidence can be fatal, especially when you're new.
Are you saying you're gonna kill me?
Yeah, you're right.
But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the east gate, shall we?
And it was this very moment where I decided I was not gonna like these characters. Eleonora's advice. The segment map. This is Eleonora, Blade Support Head, here to tell you that the segment map is now available for use. The map, displayed on your handheld comm device, is a useful tool with lots of info about Mira. Give it a look if you're unsure of where you are or what to do. Too bad I can't really show a screen of my map, because I don't have like no adapter piece to like do that, but hey.
Yes?
Oh, have you come to see the town helper? I'm sorry, what? You don't know who the town helper is? It's me, silly. I'm a mediator, but I started dabbling on the side. I teach weapon skills, offer equipment tips, deliver lost items, give life advice. Folks just started calling me the town helper. I kind of like it, to be honest.
Hey.
Let's make each other a promise. We're both gonna come back from our deployments alive. Deal? Or one of you will come back dead. If you both come back dead, you won't know that the other one didn't come back alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey.
Apparently Nelson's team has gone missing. They had planned to install a number of data probes and then come back straight to the city. What could have happened to them? I don't know what sort of foe they ran into, but let this be a lesson. You have to be careful when you're exploring. Three in a row. Shoot to kill.
Beam barrage. Is this our chance? Our chance to move in?
Get him again for me!
Yeah, we're on top of this now. Side slash. Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike.
One for the history books. Holy crap, I got him.
Yeah, we're on top of this now. Destroyed. Move in and strike.
One for the history books. Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve a cookie for this.
Yeah, we're on top of this now.
That was way closer than anyone wanted.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonder what'll happen if I go too far during this part. I've never really tried.
Oh, so they've seen us.
Beam barrage.
Yep, you already know.
Myopic spree.
What alliance? Fire carnival!
Split head.
Scream ahead.
Now you can cripple them. I totally deserve a cookie for this.
Yeah, we're on top of this now. Side slash. Upper hand. Shadow strike. Sliding slinger.
Beam barrage.
Early bird. Now, melee attacks.
Yeah.
I will be right back. Gotta get rid of these pants. I am back as an Eevee. Alright. Wait, what the? No, what happened? What the heck happened? Are you guys getting any audio from the game? Because I'm not. Ugh. Wonder why. What the heck? Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta try something real quick. Even though I literally just got back, but whatever. Still nothing, huh? I'm really not sure why this would have happened. Therefore, I'm not sure what to do about it. Yeah, I get that, because I can't hear it. Okay, I'll have to try something real quick. I'll honestly have to stop the stream and come back. So, peace out. This is a shorter stream than I wanted it to be, but I don't know what's going on, so I gotta figure that out, and then I'll be back.